Welcome to the Spotlight video for PeopleSoft Onboarding. We will begin with a brief overview of the PeopleSoft Onboarding feature, followed by a discussion about setting up PeopleSoft Onboarding and managing onboarding activities as administrators and managers. We will also walk through the onboarding process as a new hire. At the end of this video, additional resources are available to learn more about PeopleSoft Onboarding. Let's start with an overview of PeopleSoft Onboarding. Employee onboarding is an HR process that helps new hires integrate into their organization and become productive team members. It provides the tools and information new hires need to succeed at the start of their employment. PeopleSoft Onboarding lets you set up your organization's onboarding process using the Activity Guide Composer framework. You use the framework to define templates that guide new hires step by step through the onboarding process in a central location. PeopleSoft Onboarding provides administrators the ability to view the status of new employees as they progress through the onboarding process. In addition, administrators have access to documents that new hires provide during the process. Managers can access the status of their direct new hires from related actions from the manager's self-service homepage. New hires can be employees or contingent workers who are added to the system with one of these job data actions. When a job data row is saved, the system kicks off an event called Assignment Added. This event creates an onboarding process for the new hire based on template assignment in setup. New hires access their onboarding activities using the onboarding tile. The onboarding tile is system delivered on the employee self-service homepage. Select this tile to access the onboarding dashboard. The dashboard includes tiles that provide direct access to transactions that are important to new hires, including the onboarding process itself. You can set up PeopleSoft Onboarding to notify new hires when their onboarding process becomes available. When they click notification links to access their activities, the system takes them directly to the onboarding dashboard. You can modify this dashboard to meet your organizational needs. Next, we'll discuss how to set up onboarding. The onboarding feature includes several setup tasks. We'll discuss the Activity Guide Composer first. PeopleSoft HCM uses the Activity Guide Composer framework to build the onboarding process for new hires. The framework consists of a number of components: categories and templates, which represent both the technical and functional aspects of building business processes, template assignment, as well as other utilities. For more information about the framework, please check out the HCM Activity Guide Composer Spotlight video that is referenced at the end of this video. In the next few slides, we'll review the Activity Guide Composer setup that is delivered for onboarding. A category contains the technical definition of all the building blocks necessary to create templates. It is typically set up by a technical resource in your organization. A category should have all of the properties, contextual data, user actions, images, and process steps that can be used in any of its associated activity guide templates. PeopleSoft delivers the onboarding category to support the onboarding process. You can modify the category to make it more in line with your needs. For example, if you want to add extra steps, you can do so by adding a new effective dated row or by cloning from an existing category. PeopleSoft will continue to update the onboarding category in future update images. Changes will be reflected in the system-delivered effective dated row. This is a list of steps delivered for the onboarding category, including some that are specific to US and Canadian employees. Choose from these steps when you create templates for your onboarding activities. It's a good idea to work with your technical resource early on to evaluate whether these delivered steps fit your needs and make changes as needed. For example, you may have different content for the welcome video step or wish to add steps for workers of other regulatory regions. If you've decided to create a new category to support the onboarding process, be sure to always use the employee ID and employment record number context key fields. The system makes the assumption that an onboarding process is created for a job assignment. An activity guide template identifies the steps that a user takes to complete a transaction or a process. It includes configurations for the layout and banner display of its activity guides, user security, user actions, steps, and so on. HCM delivers 3 templates for onboarding as system data. You can review these delivered templates and see if they align with your organization. Use them as a starting point and add modifications by inserting a new effective dated row, or create new templates by cloning from existing ones. One point to note is that you cannot change the layout type and category for a new template when it is created using one of these 2 methods. If you created your own category to support the onboarding process, you need to build the templates from scratch. A few reminders when you configure templates for onboarding. Always include the summary step as the last step in the activity guide process. That way, new hires can review their progress easily and mark their activity guides complete when they're ready. If there are documents that new hires must read, sign, or provide to the system as part of the onboarding process, mark the corresponding document steps as required when configuring their attributes. We'll talk a little bit about document configuration later in this topic. The onboarding category includes a new step for conducting surveys. The survey is created in the questionnaire framework and can be added to templates to collect feedback regarding the current onboarding process. The Activity Guide Composer framework provides an assignment engine to assign activity guide templates to the right users based on rules. For instance, if you have multiple onboarding templates defined for new hires in different geographical areas, you can set up the system to assign templates to new hires based on their regulatory region. Template assignment is not needed if you use one template for the entire organization. In the template assignment definition, enter the category of the onboarding templates that will be included in the assignment and specify the search keys you will use to define assignment rules. PeopleSoft delivers search key source tables and these search keys for defining template assignment rules. Add custom ones if needed. The template assignment page is where you set up assignment rules. If your organization has multiple templates, review your requirements and prioritize the templates accordingly. In this example, there are 3 templates set up in the system. The first one is for new hires who work in the U.S. and for the GBI company. The second one is for new hires who work in Canada, and the last one is for all remaining new hires. PeopleSoft highly recommends that you specify a template that has the lowest priority and no criteria defined. This template serves as the default template that everyone uses if no other match is found. It's important to prioritize templates properly because the assignment engine goes for the first match it finds with the highest priority. Based on the setup in this example, a new hire who works in Canada would be assigned to a Canadian-specific onboarding process in the second priority. If the standard onboarding template had been listed as the second priority and the Canadian template in the third, the Canadian employee would get the standard onboarding process instead. We've just reviewed the Activity Guide Composer setup. Let's take a look at the setup options on the onboarding installation page for PeopleSoft OnBoarding. The user role is used when job data is saved for a new hire and the assignment added event is triggered. This event adds the user role to the new hire's user profile. New hires need this role to access the onboarding tile and other related components. You can use the delivered onboarding employee role or update this page with the one that you created. Make sure that it is the same user role that is specified in the end user security of the templates that you define for onboarding. The email templates are used to send initial and reminder notifications regarding the onboarding process. System-delivered templates are available, or you can create custom ones and enter them on this page. The URL identifier is the location where documents and attachments are stored. The activity guide category is used for onboarding. The template assignment method is used to auto-assign templates to new hires if there are multiple templates. Use the default template if you have only one template for everyone. Select from the values that are associated with the selected category. And lastly, the administrator options that allow administrators to complete and delete onboarding processes that are being reviewed on the onboarding status page. You can include documents that are needed in the process. For example, you may want new hires to get a copy of the employee handbook, acknowledge that they read and understood certain agreements, or sign consent forms and upload them to the system. The onboarding category includes steps that work with documents. When you set up or update a template that includes documents, make sure to add a document step to the template. This step is where the documents are going to be displayed. When you set up a document, select what new hires can do with the document and the templates where it can be displayed. Use a Configure Documents component to set up documents for the onboarding process. On the Documents page, provide a name and an effective date of the document. A new hire sees the version of the document that is effective as of their hire date. PeopleSoft recommends that you enter a future dated row when you roll out a new version of the document. That way, people starting on or after that date get the same new version. Select an action that new hires need to take after downloading the document. Selection options are none if no action is required. Acknowledge document if the new hire needs to click a button to acknowledge that they read the document. The system captures the date and time of the acknowledgement. Upload document if the new hire needs to upload the document after it's been updated. If a mobile device is used, they can upload files using the camera feature. Uploaded documents are stored at the location of the URL identifier entered on the onboarding installation page. On the Templates page, list the templates where the document is displayed. Optionally, you can assign the document to a document group. A document group represents a document step in the template. By linking documents to document groups, you arrange for various documents to be displayed in different document steps within the onboarding process. This is useful if you have multiple documents in the process and you want to manage them separately. The system delivers 2 document groups and 2 document group steps in the onboarding category. If you do not specify a document group for the document, it appears in the generic document step. This is an example of an onboarding process with one generic document step. Documents are not associated with document groups in this setup. As you can see, all 3 documents are listed in the top section and ready for download. And for the 2 documents that require additional employee actions, they are listed in the bottom section, waiting to be uploaded or acknowledged. This is an example of an onboarding process with 2 document steps. Documents are associated with document groups in this setup. The first document step has only 1 document and no further action is required. The second document step contains 2 documents. They need to be uploaded or acknowledged by the new hire. Earlier, we mentioned the assignment added event that gets triggered when job data of the new hire is saved. PeopleSoft OnBoarding delivers 2 event handlers for 2 job assignment related events. The Create Trigger OBD handler in the Assignment Added event and the Delete Trigger OBD handler in the Assignment Terminated event. When a person is hired or rehired as an employee or added as a contingent worker in job data, the action triggers the Assignment Added event, and the Create Trigger OBD handler in this event performs several tasks. First, it creates an onboarding process for the new hire. The administrator can manually add or delete the process or change the template that the process uses if needed. Then it adds the user role specified in setup to the new hire's user profile. This gives the user access to the onboarding tiles and components. With that said, user profiles should be created before job data rows are added for new hires. Next, it sends a notification about the onboarding process to the new hire's email address. If a new person is terminated in job data, it triggers the assignment terminated event, and the delete trigger OBD handler in the event deletes incomplete onboarding processes created for the new person. These onboarding event handlers are inactive by default. To implement the onboarding feature, you need to activate them. Now let's discuss how to manage onboarding activities. PeopleSoft OnBoarding provides utilities for administrators and managers to work with onboarding processes. Administrators can review the documents that are uploaded by new hires, review an onboarding process status, and manually add, change, or delete processes as needed. Administrators use the Employee Documents page to review documents that have been attached, uploaded, and acknowledged by new hires. They can review the onboarding process status for new hires, such as the summary of steps that are visited, completed, not started, and overdue. They can send email reminders to a new hire if there are steps that are overdue or not started. The Delete, Complete, and Mark Complete buttons appear if administrators are given the authority to delete onboarding processes and complete processes and steps in the setup. In rare occasions, where a new hire is assigned to a wrong onboarding process or a process is missing for a new hire, an administrator can make manual updates. On the Manage Onboarding event page, administrators can change the template used for the onboarding process. If the existing process has started, the system issues a warning that it will delete the existing process and create a new one using the new template. If the process is not started, its template is updated without warning. Delete the existing process. When this happens, the new hire no longer has visibility to that process from the Onboarding Activities tile. And lastly, add an onboarding process if it's missing for the new hire. Managers can view the onboarding process status of their new direct reports if the process has started. The status is available from the Related Actions menu off of the new hire on pages such as My Team, Company Directory, Employee Snapshot, and Total Rewards. Next, we'll demonstrate how to complete an onboarding process. In this demo, we'll take a look at how a new hire launches and completes an onboarding process from the Onboarding tile in Employee Self-Service. Click the Onboarding tile to access the Onboarding dashboard. The dashboard displays tiles that are relevant for new employees and can be personalized. The Onboarding Activities tile is where the new hire launches the Onboarding Activity Guide and completes steps in the onboarding process that is assigned to them. When the new hire accesses the onboarding process for the first time, the tile displays the text Get Started. When they return later to continue with the process, the tile shows the number of steps remaining and the number of steps overdue. In our example, the new hire has 2 onboarding activity guides displayed in the card view, one for each job based on the template assignment. Let's review the onboarding process PeopleSoft delivers for the United States. The first 2 steps in the onboarding process are video steps. The first one is an instructional video on how to complete the onboarding process as an activity guide. The second one is a Welcome to the Company video with a transcript for accessibility. Steps can be set as required with a due date to satisfy a legal requirement. For example, when an employee needs to complete the employee portion of the Employment Eligibility Verification Form, which needs to be done on the first day of employment. The delivered process includes steps that allow new hires to identify their disability status, veteran status, and ethnicity if they choose to do so. We'll select an option. The system automatically dates and signs the form. The Documents step lists the documents that the company provides to new hires. It displays all documents that are associated with the template of this onboarding process, and they are available for download. The ones that require further action are listed in Step 2 of this page. Click the Upload button after the corresponding document has been updated and is ready for upload. The system adds a timestamp of the upload and a link to the uploaded document. Click the Acknowledge button after reading the corresponding document. The system adds a timestamp of the acknowledgement to the page. Use the Attachment step to upload any documents that are required from the new hire, such as birth certificate or proof of residence. Add, update, or verify personal information in the Personal Details group. Add, update, or view qualifications or competencies in the Talent Profile group. Competencies are subject to approval. If PeopleSoft Benefits Administration is available, use the steps in the Benefits group to add or update beneficiaries or dependents, enroll or review benefits, and submit consent to review Form 1095-C electronically. If PeopleSoft Payroll North America is available, use steps in the Payroll group to add direct deposit data, update tax withholding, add voluntary deductions, and submit consent to receive W-2 or W-2C electronically or in paper form. The Summary step gives a snapshot of where the new hire is in the onboarding process. It shows the status of each step, the date of completion if it is completed, or the due date if it is overdue. Mark a step as complete, go to a step and look at it again, or mark the entire onboarding process complete when it is ready. Onboarding allows new hires to complete onboarding tasks in any order they choose, enabling a smooth transition. This concludes the Spotlight video for PeopleSoft Onboarding. For more information about the onboarding feature, visit the online help video and training materials listed on this slide. Thanks for watching.